Hi everybody, my name is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am excited to do the Count Your Blessings tag. I figured it was the right month for this tag. It is November, so we have Thanksgiving coming up, and funny enough, I was tagged to do this last November by Tiffany at A Beautiful Minutia, and I was kind of saving this for the next time Thanksgiving came around because I didn't have time last year to do it before Thanksgiving, so I figured I would save it. So here it is a year later, better late than never, and this was also created by Anne at In Search of Wonder, who is a fantastic channel. She has a lot of really exciting things for the next year, including a classics read-along that you should definitely go check out. I'm sure a lot of you would be interested in participating in that. She has some awesome prompts and like a scavenger hunt, and she just went all out for this classics read-along. It sounds like a lot of fun. So go check out Anne if you're not familiar with her already. She's fantastic. And let's jump into the questions. So number one is count them one by one. Go ahead and try to count them. And I assume that would mean counting your books. And I actually did this. It took me a while. It took me like, I don't know, half an hour to figure out how many physical books I actually have. And the number was a little staggering. I have more physical books than I realized, for sure. I have roughly 800 physical books in my house that are mine, and I'm not even counting my son's books, so it's probably like 850 maybe. I'm not really exactly sure how many picture books we have, but I would assume it's at least 50, maybe more. So yeah, I think the exact number that I came up with was 789 books. Wow. Just wow. I think I've probably read half of them. So I guess that's not a great track record that I haven't read all of them, but I think I've probably read half of them if I was going to estimate. So I've still got a long way to go. Got a very big physical TBR. That's like a 400 book physical TBR. So a little bit staggering, but I have sort of just accepted it that is just how it's going to be. I'm always going to take books home. I'm always going to buy more books, and I'm never going to read my TBR. Just how it's going to be. Oh, also, I was curious to figure out my digital books. And so I did for the most part, and was also surprised at those results. I have about as many digital books on my Kindle. I have about 800 books on my Kindle. And I don't know how that happened. I have a lot of books on my Kindle to choose from, and apparently just as many as I have physical books. So I have no shortage of reading material, and so I am thankful for that. Something to be thankful for. I love my physical library, and I love building it, and I love acquiring more books, and I love managing it. It's just so fun. That's why we're here. We're book people. So I know you understand. Okay, number two, life-changing books. And I'm going to hold up a few. So when I thought about life-changing books, I'm excluding fiction at the moment, although I have fiction books in my life that I think I could point to those as like shaping my reading taste. Like Lord of the Rings comes to mind. Like, I don't know what reader I would be if I had never read Lord of the Rings. I would be a really different reader. The Stormlight Archives, like those have become really important books to me too. What else? Different, like Anne of Green Gables, Lucy Maud Montgomery, Shakespeare. I fell in love with Shakespeare in college. Definitely shaped me as a reader. Yeah, lots of classics over the years. Victorian novels. So, Dostoevsky, like all these fiction books that many of them are classics and some of them are not, but you know, ones that I think have kind of guided my reading taste and created launching pads for me to go from that to other things. So there's definitely lots of fiction like that I could count. I want to bring some nonfiction to light though, because I think when I think of books that have actually changed my life, I think of Christian nonfiction. And an example would be Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, which was maybe the first kind of book that I read like this of C.S. Lewis. That was not his fiction. This was probably the first nonfiction that I read by C.S. Lewis. And so Mere Christianity, I would consider a touchstone book for me. One that I read more recently is Joy in Christ's Presence by C.H. Spurgeon. Anything by Spurgeon is life-changing. Pretty much everything that he writes is life-changing. So this was a really special book that I read with a read-along group, but then I was really slow on it, so I finished it way after, like a few months after they finished it, but it was worth it to take my time and go through it slowly because it was just so fantastic. Another book that I don't actually have a cover for, so I have to show you the side, but it's Counterfeit Gods by Timothy Keller. This shaped the way I think about like how I interact with things that I love. This book is about idols basically, and about being aware of the idols in our life and how to like put your idols in their place and put God back in the center. So that is a influential one for me that I always remember. And then the last one I'll mention is Living the Cross-Centered Life by C.J. Mahaney. I've read this 2 or 3 times. I think in my most recent time, I had like a problem with something in it, and I can sort of remember, but not exactly, so I don't want to say what the problem is, but so it did kind of like drop on the pedestal a little bit, but it was influential with me and my husband meeting actually, and we ended up like talking about this book and reading this book together early in our dating life. So that just like holds a special place in my heart that we read this together, and that's kind of like how our relationship started. So it's just kind of sweet. But it's also good. It's also really good about living the cross-centered life, making Jesus the center of your life, and always thinking of the sacrifice and putting Jesus' sacrifice in perspective through the lens in which you do everything. So those are, I would say, 4 influential nonfiction books. There's definitely more. Wow, I feel like my answers for these questions have already been so long, but that's okay. So those are books that I'm thankful for encountering in my life. Number 3 is special editions. What are some special editions and copies that you really love? I have a smattering of things here. So let's see. Let's start with, okay, while these editions are not actually nice to read, and I've seen other people mention that, and then I finally got some of these. What are these? The Penguin cloth bound edition, and they are so stunning and lovely, like in every way. They are stunning and lovely. However, not the most fun to read. I feel like they don't open, and that like it's really very conscious of like breaking the spine, and it just feels like I have to like break the spine. I don't know, they just like don't open. They don't open very well. I have not actually like physically read one of these editions, but I do enjoy seeing them. I've got about 4. I've got a Charlotte Bronte, an Anne Bronte, 2 Charlotte Brontes, an Anne Bronte, and an Emily Bronte. So I've got a little Bronte collection in these. And they're just lovely to look at. I'll have to actually read from one of these editions and let you know what I think. But just like on opening them, not sure they're super readable, but there they are. They're very pretty. These are a lot. Actually, these are very readable. I like reading out of these with these big chunky classics. These are lovely to read out of. what are these called? The word, I forgot, like, are they like word cloud? Let's see. Let's find out. Oh, they've got these cool end page. Oh yeah, word cloud classics. There we go. These are pretty cool, and I like all the quotes on the front, and they're just lovely to actually read from as well. They just feel like really nice to open. So enjoy reading those from those editions. I recently have acquired the gorgeous illustrated editions of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. They're just stunning, and the sides are so cool. So cool. Sprayed edges. They're just really, really lovely. Have not actually read from these, but I do intend to eventually, because they've got these stunning illustrated pages in here. I think many, oh yeah, actually completely illustrated by the author, so that's really cool. Someday I will read from these, but I have yet to do so. Love the Brandon Sanderson secret projects. They were definitely worth the money. I don't regret that at all. They're pretty stunning. They are lovely, and then the insides are lovely as well. Just a very nice design. All of them are a lot of fun to flip through. Yes, so Trust of the Emerald Sea and the other secret projects. Going back to Lord of the Rings, I also really love these. I have read out of these. Each one I've read out of. So these are like the tiniest, cutest little Lord of the Rings editions. And actually my toddler loves to play with these because I think he likes taking them out of the box and putting them back in. I just like have to watch him very carefully because I'm worried one day he's just gonna open it and rip a page out. But he has not done so yet. But yes, really enjoy reading out of these. Yes, they are small print though. So that does bother some people. It doesn't bother me. I like the pocket book kind of like, I feel like I could stick it in my back pocket. I like that about them, but I know that you kind of have to like go at them with a magnifying glass. They are not easy to read because the print is pretty darn small. And then I'm going to show you the last thing I'm going to show you, some editions that I really like are these, which are just the cutest editions. I have The Secret Garden, Anna Green Gables, and Heidi all in these editions. I've physically read these ones. I've never read Anne in this edition. I've read Anne in a different edition, just like a normal paperback one. But these are pretty cool. They've got some neat drawings and stuff in them. They come with this like cloth. They come with this bookmark thing, which I don't know. Sometimes these are annoying. But I do, if they're there, I will use them. But I've never been like the biggest fan of that style. But yeah, they're very like, it's like that old-timey book style, and they have gold sprayed edges, which are pretty neat. It's a pretty metallic gold. It's a very shiny touch, and it matches like the gold leafing on the front as well. So yeah, those are super cute. What are these called? These are the they're a Barnes and Noble. Apparently they're a Barnes and Noble printing. I guess I didn't fully realize that. Good job, Barnes and Noble. Oh, hello. A dog has joined me. Hello, Evelyn. Okay, that concludes number 3. Number 4, gifted books. Books you love that others have gifted you. I forgot to pull it out. But I wanted to shout out Christy for giving me the most heartfelt book. It's called A Book About You. I'll put a picture. A Book About You, and it's like she wrote, it has prompts about like questions about your friend basically, and you answer the prompts. And I like to read through it when I'm feeling down, or if I've had a hard day at work. I've had a hard teaching week, and I just feel like I'm failing everything and like I'm like the worst person in the world, then I read this and it really lifts my spirits. So thank you, Christy. This is like, that was like the nicest, one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me. Just the sweetest thing. It's very special to me. And then many of you and my BookTube friends have gifted me books throughout the years, and I'm appreciative for all of them. Just the fact that I have friends who will send me books, who think of me in that way and are so generous and kind. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I'm sorry. Okay. A little bit loopy today. Yeah. So thank you to like anyone who's ever gifted me a book. Hi, Bailey. What's up? Question number 5 is the blessing of a book. How has reading benefited you in your life, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Well, I guess that kind of goes with the gifting question as well. Books have brought me friendship. They've brought me friendship. BookTube has brought me close to so many lovely people who not only do I interact with their videos, but we interact off screen too, and have even like formed Bible studies together, have just like formed prayer groups together, and like truly friends that lift each other up. And I would have never imagined that would have come out of BookTube. When I started this, I would have never thought that to be possible. Not like true online friendship, like friendship with people you have actually never met in real life. But like they are my true friends. And I've heard various people on BookTube sometimes say like, oh, your online friends are not your real friends. I 100% disagree. My online friends are totally my real friends. Yeah, I'm so thankful. There's like, that was like the biggest surprise and blessing to come out of BookTube was the friendships I've made and continue to make. Let's see. Reading. Oh yeah, how has reading benefited you was the question. When like thinking of actual just physically reading, I've always been a reader, and I think that I have always connected with seeing the world through books and learning about the world through books. I think I've always been drawn to that. Even before music kind of took a hold of my life and became my career, I think that reading was there from the very beginning. And yeah, that's definitely how I started interacting with the world and piecing together and making sense of the world. My mom likes to tell this story of me in a ballet studio when I was like 5, and she put me in ballet, and that like we had to wait in line for our turn to like try this certain dance move. And like while I was in line, I wanted my book, and I was like, well, all the other girls around me were like, I don't know, goofing off and dancing in line, and I was like this in line. So she likes to tell that story. But yeah, so obviously books were important to me from a very young age and have been helpful for me to process the world and to understand the world around me. And also, and spiritually as well. Like the books that I cited as life-changing books are all spiritual books. So I don't know where I would be without having a love of reading. It's just an essential part of my being and always has been. And then question number 6, friends, the greatest blessing. Do you have in real life friends that love to talk about books with you? And tag your favorite BookTube channels. So I have sort of found bookish people here and there, but they tend to not have the same reading taste as me when I find them in real life. I think that's the nice thing about finding an online bookish community, is that you can tap into communities who read what you read. And So like for example, I have a coworker who reads voraciously, but she and I have very different taste. She's like all like romantasy and romance, like that's everything that she reads, and more power to her. But when there was one day she asked me what I read, and I mentioned that I was reading through all the Jane Austen books, and she kind of like looked at me like I was an alien from outer space. So like, you know, not a classics reader, obviously. So it's nice to have the online community where you can find like-minded readers who are seeking out the same things that you are, and share your taste. I think that's definitely the beauty of BookTube. So as far as in real life friends that love to talk about books with me, no, not really. But I have like my coworker who I have like a bookish solidarity with, and I'll like ask her about what she's reading and stuff. But for the most part, most people in my life don't read. My husband doesn't really read. My family members don't really read. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, my friends, most of my friends are through like music venues, and not all of them are readers. Most of them aren't readers. So yeah. Oh, sorry, kicked the camera. Yeah, it's gotta be BookTube people that are my reading outlet to chat with. And then my favorite BookTube channel. So I'm going to list off a bunch of lovely people who I thought of these people because either I consistently interact with them on this platform and who interact with me, and also I am also adding some people who I just really enjoy their content, and like I always watch whatever they post. And so I'm going to start with Christy from Dostoevsky in Space. I probably know most of my friends online because of Christy. So yes, thank you, Christy, for bringing me into your circle. And into your bookish online community. Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia as well, who tagged me in this tag. I always watch whenever she uploads. And then Dia from Novel Idea, who just hit 1,000 subscribers. So hooray! Dia is the most amazing person and such a prolific reader. Has read everything basically on the planet. I know Dia probably doesn't feel that way, but I feel that way, that Dia has actually read everything. So yes, Dia, and then Cheryl from Candlewick Library. I really enjoy her content and her discussions on her channel. And then Kaylee, Luminous Libro is her channel. I've been following her for a long time, and lots of children's literature on her channel, classics, classic fantasy, children's fantasy. She does a lot of reviews on books and materials for young people, so I always really enjoy what she has to say about them. And Charlene at Coffee and a Book has become a more recent BookTube friend and commenter, and she's lovely, so go check out Charlene. Amy of Hearthbridge, also a lovely channel, and I always feel like when I watch her videos, like we're just hanging out and having a chat. Just a really lovely presence. Angie in the Great World, who I have known on BookTube a really, really long time. I think one of my earliest BookTube friends was Angie, and really love seeing whenever she does post. I know she's had a lot of changes in her life. She was a teacher, so I was excited to find a teacher friend on BookTube, and she's no longer a teacher. Which good for her. A little bit jealous. Teaching's hard, man. But yeah, just really enjoy Angie's thoughts on things. And then Rainy Day Reads as well. Also a friend on BookTube for a really long time, and she does a lot of cross stitching on YouTube now as well. So love seeing that side as well. Sarah MG Reads. I don't believe she's doing BookTube anymore, and she's kind of stopped. So I dearly miss her videos though, and I still think of her and hope she's doing well. As a friend, Sarah, if you see this, I miss your videos very much, and miss talking to you. And also a recent channel that I've really been enjoying lately, Penelope the Paperback Cat, who is a booktuber from New Zealand. And I'm just in awe of her fantasy knowledge, and she is an amazing fantasy reader, also an amazing content creator. I think she has just like the most creative ideas. I love her vlogs. Also, her book battles are one of my favorite things. She does her wrap-ups every month with a book battle. And so she kind of pits the books against each other. And that's how she decides like what's her best book of the month. And so I just really enjoy her content, and I find her a really fun person to watch, and she's always making me wish I was reading more fantasy. So those are the people that I'm going to mention here, and I'm going to tag. I would love to see you do this tag, and if I didn't mention you and you want to do this tag in the month of November, I think it's a perfect time to do this tag. Anne is so good at making tags. She's made some other tag questions that are just really, really good. Very well thought through. So yes, that is it for me. I feel like I was very rambly in this video, but there it is. Let me know what you are thankful for. And if you want to answer some of these questions down below in the comments, I'd love to hear your answers here. Thank you dearly for watching this video today. I hope you are having a wonderful fall and a wonderful month, and that you are reading something great. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.